What the hell
Are
happened?
we taping?
We were.
We were taping?
Yeah, we're still
We're still taping.
But it's happy days. Because you know why? Football's back.
There we go. Happy days.
There we go. Yeah, that's it.
And I've got flat pretzels.
Flat bread.
And it's happy days with flat pretzels.
Absolutely.
Hey, you know what? Amazingly enough, we've actually pulled off and secured Garage Pod
1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see how this goes.
I know. We're on to something. We don't need Clint here.
Miss you, brother.
We do miss you, Clint. Up until I play him whatever week that is and crush him. What week? Yeah, we'll look at that later.
We're going to give it a shot. We're going to try and knock out round 2. And I think maybe we wrap it up with matchups for week 1.
Yeah. We're going to go over the first couple of rounds of drafts and see how we go there, right?
Yeah, before it gets too early. Let's see. All right, well, that being said, I think we finished off with
George and Kelly.
George and Kelly wrapping up round 2, back-to-back with Steven Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent pick. We discussed his receiving role now with Atlanta Falcons and my quarterback, Matty Ice. Again, we're going to round 2, which with our league, which is with prospective 4 holdovers, you're looking at a borderline dynasty league, and round 2 looks like we've got Drew Brees going to Brandon, Christine holds over Matt Forte, Michael holds over Brandon Marshall, AJ Green goes to Bernie.
Was Christine's Forte, was that her pick, or was that a holdover, or was that one from Gordo?
I want to say that was hers.
Because I thought Gordo had her from last year. Whatever.
I have to double check. I think she got, because she drafted high here, would draft down here, so I imagine she had to have Forte up there to hold him.
Okay.
I think I surprised her with that one. She didn't realize she had him when we started talking about the draft, but she did. Mike with Brandon Marshall.
Get in your frame. There we go.
Brandon Marshall, Mike, AJ Green, Bernie, which you should get mad love for the AJ man. Peyton Manning for John. Tom Brady for Erica. Cam Newton for Kev.
I had to take him.
So again, we walk into the second round, and it's literally maybe 4 or 5 players that are available.
Right.
To the players that are about to pick. So you're looking at Drew Brees goes to Brandon. Steven Jackson, good pick on the turnaround. And now you're looking at the first available, which I believe would be Alfred Morris, who was my pick last year. I picked up well into the 3rd or 4th week after Washington realized it had any running backs, and he became the heir apparent to number 1 and was stellar. But Joan, without running backs available, and with the players available in round 1, that became his first round pick.
Yeah.
But that was his first round pick.
Yeah, his first pick, yeah.
Mm-hmm. His first pick in round 1, actually. And then you got
Gonna adjust this a little bit, so.
We're adjusting. Something going on.
We're working out the kinks here.
So yeah, Alfred Morris goes to John. Peyton Manning again goes to John, but that was his first round pick. So yeah, 1-1. Des Bryant. It's Trudy.
This is where
I actually had to pick. I see.
There's some controversy, I think, between Trudy and Clint. I honestly, well, hold on. I'm going to adjust the camera here in just a second because we're trying to
Are we too
get
close?
the kinks. No, we got it.
We need to pull back.
You got it. We're good. We're just trying to get framed here. With the
Probably really good by the way.
Yeah. Available at Kroger's, by the way. Right there. Again, Kroger, if you
You don't
want
work there anymore.
They still have mad love for him.
I'm a Tom Thumb guy.
Yeah.
That's okay though, because no one can understand what I'm just saying there. So.
Exactly.
All right. So yeah, controversy.
I think with the Trudy and Clint controversy, because Clint had to give up his man crush, Tony Romo. Because he had to give up a lot of players.
Yeah.
Because of where they fell, and there were some off-season bets made where draft picks were exchanged. So You made out good. I got screwed.
Well, I did, but I got hosed too because Brandon talked. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But.
Any goodness. But you look at the players that Trudy picked up that were Clint's. I mean, was that maybe, hey, I'll trade you for this guy later?
No, I don't see that. I think that at that time, the best available player coming up, I thought Dez may have dropped to me. If Dez hadn't, then I thought Brandon's tight end was going to drop to me. And I know he already talked Clint out of taking, talked Clint into taking the tight end that I wanted. It forced me down two rounds to grab a wide receiver since I gave up Alfred Morris. But Dez Bryant, clearly, if you didn't have Calvin Johnson, Dez Bryant, the clear-cut #1 wide receiver. Now with Trudy already having, Trudy taking the first?
Jamal Charles gave up
so
Megatron.
She gave her Megatron, took the running back, which were, like I said, we talked about it being kind of a shallow labor pool, and grabs the next top wide receiver other than the one that she gave up in the second round. I think that, I don't want to say there was any coaching involved, but I definitely think it was the right pick.
I was sitting at that end of the table. There was a lot of coaching involved. Next year when we do the draft, you are not allowed to sit next to anybody you live in the house with, or related to, because this is Trudy's third year.
Going on third, I believe.
Third year. So she understands how we play, fantasy football. She's done, and hasn't done that bad. I mean, aside from some of her homer picks and stuff like that. But
I think she's had some pretty good drafts. It's just about being adamant about picking up players and adjusting accordingly. And she has had some picks that were great picks on draft day, and they never panned out.
Right.
And for instance, Chris Johnson, who for her was a bust, and then all of a sudden turns around. She got him in the window that he did absolutely nothing, and all of a sudden he started doing something again.
Right.
Which I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Clint ended up with Chris Johnson, if not this year, he definitely did last year.
Right.
Or panned out for him. But in any event, good pick. I think it was at the right time, the right person, especially after she had already grabbed a running back. Best player available, especially with all the running backs that were gone and running backs that were frozen, and quarterbacks that were frozen between you and Erica, John, Bernie, Mike, Brandon, and the running backs that were frozen between myself, Brandon. There's 4 right there, plus at least 4 that were taken out in the first round. So I do like that pick there. Now you're looking at Reggie Bush, because Tom Brady's gone, Cam Newton's gone to you, and Andre Johnson at the bottom of the first round. So now you're looking at Reggie Bush, who Devin already had. Devin have a second round pick? Let me double check real fast. Second round was Steven Jackson to Kelly and George, Dez Bryant to Trudy, Tom Brady to Erica, which is a holdover. Andre Johnson and Devin took in the second round. Cam Newton to you, Jimmy Graham was talked
again.
From underneath me to Clint.
I had to give up Andre Johnson to Cam Newton, but
I had to dip down in the third round and grab Julio Jones. Bernie was a holdover with AJ Green. Mike was a holdover with Brandon Marshall. Pittman was a holdover to John. Brandon had Drew Brees as a holdover, and Chris Dean was a holdover with Matt Forte. So yeah, it actually had to dip down to there's people that scroll down.
right.
What was that? Oh crap! I can't reference it right now. And when the timer starts, I'll come back with it.
Okay.
In any event, that's round 2. Round 3, we're looking at Christine comes back around, back-to-back picks. She's got Forte in the 24th pick. She goes back with Russell Wilson at the top of the 3rd.
Good pick. I mean, again, second-year quarterback. I saw how that worked with Cam Newton last year. Where everybody kind of figured out what he was going with. We'll see whether or not he gets a sophomore slump up there in Seattle.
Ooh. See, I disagree. Because here's what I had Russell Wilson and Matty Ice And if we went to a 2 quarterback starting league, I would have held both, but I would have been able to hold Russell Wilson in like the 6th round. So top of the 3rd round, a bit aggressive, but at the same time, I understand why she went there because last year she was left with some really sketchy quarterbacks because she had to wait so long, and she wasn't in any better of a situation this year because of all the lockdowns on Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Cam Newton,
RG3.
Matty Ice, RG3. I mean, there was Andrew Luck.
It turned out
Tony Romo. I mean, there was
Colin
like
Kaepernick as well. No, Tony Romo. Clinton had to give up Tony Romo and ended up keeping Colin Kaepernick.
So she's basically looking at in that block where Tony Romo falls and Russell Wilson, based off what he did the year before, and all the quarterbacks that everybody had, she wanted to get aggressive, took a player. Now, one of his wide receivers out for the year, and they're going to have some issues, but he is also a running quarterback. Now, we have moved to a 6-point touchdown, so it's not just necessarily where it favors the running quarterback, where it's 4 points per throw, 6 points for rushing. So you get it across the board. But I think it was a bit early for him, and I'd like to see him do it more than 1 year before I put him in that 3rd/4th round spot.
Right.
Because I don't see his.
Is he better than Cam Newton?
Is he better than Matty Ice?
Exactly.
Right. I think either one of them. I put their receiving core above his, and I don't think just yet. Well, it may play out. It may have
Absolutely.
It may blow up. So Russell Wilson, first pick in the 2nd round. Doug Martin, Brandon Holmes over in the 3rd, kind of like mine was with Trent Richardson. Roddy White goes to John. Had him before. Familiar with him. He's a dependable wide receiver.
Money guy.
He is. I'm kind of hoping more goes to Roddy White this year. Roddy White was Julio Jones. And Tony Gonzalez comes back. I think Roddy White loses a couple of receptions, and they go to either Tony Gonzalez or Julio Jones.
I think you see the same dynamic they had last year with Julio's rookie year. So, or it was last year or year before?
Sorry, point blank.
Yeah.
I think Julio, this might be his 3rd year in.
So, I mean, really, you look at Roddy White, I don't think he's missed a step since Julio's come on board.
No, he's stellar. I mean,
that's the thing. You have 3 top-notch receivers between Julio, Roddy, and Tony Gonzalez.
And now they're tight end.
Yeah.
Now they're running back.
Yeah, now running back, yeah. I don't see any drop-off for Roddy White. I don't know. We're looking for cigarettes here. Back here.
Oh, there they are. Anyway,
hey.
I'm listening.
So I don't think there's a drop-off, really.
Well,
one of those. You got another one? Do we have more?
Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
The thing with that is that I think with the addition of Steven Jackson, he's going to get some receptions. So those receptions have to come from somewhere. Whether it's Tony Gonzalez or Roddy White or Julio Jones. I think Julio Jones as the up-and-coming wide receiver, I don't think it comes from him. I think it comes from one of the other two. And it's not that, Julio Jones or Roddy White is still going to be shelling a top-tier wide receiver. I hope so, because that's my quarterback. I think he's still a solid pick at number 3. Doug Martin, Roddy White, especially with whatever else is going, because you got Maris Thomas is held over by Mike. You've got
who I think, and Mike is the guy to watch out for this year. He absolutely is. He drafted a phenomenal team, and there's been a couple of years he's been kind of, not really paying attention, and obviously being over in Iraq and Afghanistan. But now he's here, 2nd year here. He's going to be.
He's got a nice setup.
He does. He is the one player I think everybody in our league needs to watch out for.
So I get Trent Richardson in the 3rd round pick. That's glorious. Right? That's a foregone conclusion to get him in the 3rd round with a top, even at the bottom of the top end, get him in the 3rd round. That's done. My 2 questions are here. Wes Welker in the 3rd round. You're arguably is that his first for Clint? Is this #1 wide receiver? Let me double check here. He's arguably going in the 4th, 5th round.
Clint might be reaching a little bit, but you have a guy like Peyton Manning
He's durable.
throwing to him.
Yeah. Oh,
And
no, don't get me wrong.
used
I
to-
love me some Wes Welker.
He is used to a guy that is top notch thrown to him, and now you go from Tom Brady, maybe quarterback 1B, to Peyton Manning, quarterback 1A.
Really, you going
I-
Peyton Manning's 1A and
I would. I honestly would.
not going down that road.
But I mean, somebody. I think he thinks better on his feet, and knows where his receivers are, and the fact that he does get to call his own plays. I think it's just that close. It's that close between the two of them. That close between the two of them.
Right now, I think that Peyton definitely didn't have the repertoire, or sorry, the receiving pool that Brady had at times between Moss and Walker, but I think he's definitely Brady definitely elevated a lot of those wide receivers to the position they were at. Walker is durable, but he is a little bit older, and he's now in a system where he's not going to get 100+ carries or 100+ receptions against 2 other top-tier wide receivers, so he's going to have to share the time with that. Now, at the same time, Manning does like his slot receivers, and he will exercise Wes Welker, and he is durable. I mean, you can't deny someone going from a blown ACL, MCL, come back and start catching mad touchdowns. That being said, he's got to share a lot more carries, whereas before he was one of the more focal points in the system. So, if you were to put a board bet, since we don't have any board bets yet out there,
We don't have board bet.
would you put, what do you want to do, Wes Welker against, give me some names. There's something out there.
You got to think about those slot receivers out there. Victor Cruz.
Just look back on the field.
Because you're talking about 2 players that would have been, ranked essentially about the same round. Victor Cruz was what, a 3rd round?
Victor Cruz, where is Victor Cruz? 4th round.
4th round?
Say Victor Cruz. Alright, so I'm going to go Victor Cruz, overall fantasy points, versus Wes Welker.
I'll take Wes Welker on that.
Okay, I'll take Victor Cruz. Book it.
Okay.
Alright.
And we're going to have to go back and watch this to,
Write some stuff down?
because nobody's here writing anything because we're just.
Alright. Rob Gronkowski. Your holder.
My holdover.
Third round. Not
Which-
starting.
I know.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, you know how much bad love I've got for
Yeah,
some
this is
Gronkowski.
the 3rd year I've
I
had
just
him.
drafted him.
Yeah, you just did. And honestly, I think that was a high round for him to be projected in. The fact that he's not going to start in like week 2, week 3, maybe. You have to take him because other than Jimmy Graham, he was the number 2.
But he is definitely in that top. When he's healthy, he is like this in that top 2, and then it falls off.
Exactly.
If you can lose only 3 games with him, I think it's a solid pick, and he can help you make a run for the playoffs.
Absolutely. Which he has. Even with a busted arm last year, still catching a couple of balls did help out. And until I played Erica and he was not playing, and then, wound out of there. So,
Rob Gronkowski. Who's the next top elite tight end after that? Let's see. Jimmy Graham,
Jason Witten.
Gronkowski. Tony Gonzalez,
Tony
Jason Witten,
yeah.
almost back to back.
And Gronk is younger than Jason Witten. And I think Jason Witten right now is at the top point, and you're going to start seeing him slide out.
I think he's gonna be great this year. I just think that
yeah.
right now in the system they have in New England, he's gonna depend heavily on Gronkowski as soon as he can get him back.
Absolutely.
It depends on how long it takes to get him back.
And the fact that he's practicing now, he's, running cones, and I would be happy if he started week 2.
You'd be happy if he started week 4.
I'd be happy if he started week 1. I'd be up at this table dancing. But, realistically, he is probably week 2 at the earliest, week 4 at the latest.
All right. So how long do you go? So what's your backup tight end?
Jimmy Graham?
What? No.
Oh, no.
I was all like, God bless you. I'm like, you're actually sitting on both of those?
No, not Jimmy Graham. Let me pull this up here on the phone.
Who was your backup?
I don't know, some guy.
Some guys can be starting for you the first 4 weeks of the season.
Oh man, I'm getting old. I can't read this. What's that say? Right then.
Oh, Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen.
Not bad.
Yeah, the third Olsen brother. So
Oh.
yeah,
Not bad.
yeah, and he's with Carolina. Cam Newton throwing to him. He's not going to be spectacular. He'll be serviceable for me for the first.
Well, Greg Olsen
Yeah.
is not being thrown to Houston, no?
No, he's in Carolina.
Oh, I'm completely oblivious about this. All right.
Yes.
Fair enough. Greg Olsen, I think, is a serviceable tight end to get you through the first couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
Devin picks up Reggie Bush in the 3rd round. I like that pick.
Good pick.
Another solid running back. He
Bush,
gets a
Bush
running
in the
back.
bush, Debo.
Yeah, he gets
Get,
a running back in the 1st.
get in the frame.
What?
Out of frame.
I'm over there.
I know.
See, Devin.
And we did not script this tonight, so those of you that are regular viewers, so
Yeah, it's
we
all
apologize.
good.
Yeah.
It's all good. But anyways, so yeah, he gets running back in the 1st. Takes Andre Johnson, best available wide receiver in the 2nd. Takes another running back in the 3rd. Running backs are kind of like I said, kind of rather shallow. Trudy takes Tony Romo
Again,
in the 3rd round.
this is.
Dude, I was happy when I saw that. I'm like, wow, you're really taking Tony Romo in the 3rd round?
Yeah, which he was projected 4 or 5,
Like
round,
6
fifth
or
round.
7?
Yeah, 6. Again,
Tony Romo is going in the bottom of the 6th round.
but if you look at last year, this is where the controversy, we're gonna get the Zapruder film out on that. If Clint had been able to keep his 3rd round or 6th round, he would have been able to keep Tony Romo, I believe. But Clinton lost that bet or whatever. So I think Trudy reaches to get this pick away from Clint.
So how much did that hurt her holding Des Bryant? She's got Des Bryant now and Tony Romo in the first 3 rounds. As soon as you take a bye, now you're down to your bench.
Exactly.
Kelly
But
and
she
George,
picks up Matt Stafford again on her bench. In love with her Detroit. Yeah.
She likes her Detroit. Didn't take the reach for the defense, but they get Stafford, which I think he could have a decent year. I think Kelly jumps in at this point. Or George, I'm not sure where the transition made, but it was another New York Giant.
Yeah. I think that was still George.
Eli Manning. Again.
Big reach.
I'm looking over this draft. I'm wondering why my team is not more stacked based off the fact that Romo and Eli Manning and some of these players, I'm like, I used a holdover in the 4th round on my quarterback who went before these guys, and now yeah,
you and me
I'm
both.
a little confused.
Yeah,
because you're on Cam Newton too, and you're like,
Yeah.
wait, you're like, maybe they were just freaked out because of the fact that there weren't quarterbacks left there, and they just kind of like jumped on people.
exactly.
But they had back-to-back. I like their 4th round pick. I like coming back and grabbing Stephen Ridley. With the questions on wide receivers in New England, I think Steve Ridley is going to have a huge year. I think I distracted him again in the last round.
You
right?
sure did.
I did. I grabbed a lot. I grabbed a lot of
You were all about the
players.
Patriots in this one.
Um,
Let's take a break.
oh, she did Stafford in the fourth.
Whoa.
She grabbed Romo in the third and Stafford in the fourth.
Yeah, Trudy,
Oh, snap.
good luck at the bottom again. Okay.
We'll be back.
And two, and two, and two, and soccer.